Hi guys, Azna here. For those of you who don't know, I'm a master psychic medium and an ascended master. I'm just going to do a quick video today on basically the locations in your mind. Now, during a lot of the meditations I'm sure you've done, or some of the ones that you've done, it feels like you go into a landscape, and it's a very unique landscape that you can enter at any time. In a lot of my meditations, I describe certain landscapes that can be repeatable and are not merely a figment of your imagination. They feel solid and they feel planned. Within our minds as well as the universe, there are many locations that we can journey, each one having a different purpose. From the chakras, which I will go over in a more advanced lesson, to simply different locations where you can travel. There are many places you can start, such as a safe space. The safe space is where you think of when you think of happiness and utmost safety in your own mind. It can look like any landscape. It can be a forest, a field, a beach. It is some place where you are absolutely at peace and nothing can harm you. This is a good base camp for all of your exploration and location visiting while you're here. And you can always travel back to here if you feel like you're being overwhelmed. This is a safe space for you. In this place, it is a complete barrier that completely blocks you from the outside world and the outside universe. So if for whatever reason you feel drained or feel like you need to rest, you can simply journey here and allow your mind to rest and rejuvenate. You regain energy faster in this area than anywhere else because it is safe and nothing else is wearing on you. This area is very sacred, and it takes a different form in every lifetime, and every person may have a different area, and each person may have a different place depending on where their sacred area lies. For instance, mine is Yosemite Valley. I've never been to Yosemite Valley, but I've seen it a million times in my mind, and one day I was watching a documentary and saw the exact same picture. So it could exist in real life. You may recognize it from childhood, or it simply may be something that is so fantastical it could never exist. Whatever it is sacred to you, and is unique to your own journey and your own path. There is no one path for enlightenment, and although I am an Ascension coach, I modify every one of my approaches for every one of my students, because none of my students are the same, and not all of my students follow the same path. Whatever leads them to their divine oneness with themselves and their own lessons is the ascension I'm looking for. There is no strict path. There is another one I want to bring to your attention. It is in the mind, and it rests behind the third eye. This space that rests behind the third eye is a sort of command center for yourself. It's where you can invite other beings in and allow them to speak to you. It can take the shape of any inside structure, depending if it's a forest or if it's a building. Mine particularly is a log cabin, with one end opening to the universe where you receive energy, like I have mentioned at the base of the neck, and the other end is where you receive the third eye enlightenment and then appears as a window into a bright white light. It has two sides like this, and the walls are whatever you wish them to be: log, stone, forest, water. It is whatever your personality dictates it to be. This is important because this is where many spirits will come to visit you. This is where you can find answers to a lot of things, and this is sort of a crossroads for future exploration. Things will appear in this area when they are needed for your attention. For instance, if you are to meet your subconscious mind or conquer your fear trial, they will appear here. I do not suggest conquering your fear trial at this rate. I will create a master class on how to prepare and conquer your fear trial, and why or if you should be doing it, as it is very dangerous and traumatizing to most people. They can appear as anything: stairways, holes in the floor, or doorways, and they present themselves when you are ready to be permitted to them. So always keep an eye out on this area and check in on it regularly for any sort of new places to journey to. Going off the fear trial, there is another place which we'll conquer in a deeper lesson. It is where all of your negative emotions lie, and you can explore there if you wish. In a further lesson, I'll create a video that guides you through it. And this place usually appears as a derelict house or mental hospital or any sort of building that makes you feel uneasy. And entering it, there are rooms, and each room has a being in it, and it manifests itself as a negative emotion that controls you, whether it be anger, fear, hatred. depression, insomnia, they all exist in these rooms. And this is a very trying lesson as well, and only conquerable at a master level. I'll create a video that prepares you for that as well, as conquering these gives you control over oneself and one's inner demons. There is also a great forest in your mind. In this deep spiritual forest, many things will also appear to you. They are usually challenges and obstacles for your own spiritual enlightenment. And many things have to be cleansed or purified to be brought to enlightenment as well within you. They are all personal aspects and tools of your own enlightenment. So dealing with all of them and purifying them is essential. This forest is deep and dark and spans many miles. There may be mountains within it and divots in the ground, each a lesson for you. And within this deep forest, it is made of dark and gloomy trees that when underneath them it is hard to see the light. Despite all of this, it is not an unholy negative feeling for you. It is a feeling of challenge and a feeling of enlightenment and process, and the feeling of beginning something new. As there are many challenges within this forest, there are many things that must be unsealed and healed and be made for. There is also in this area a library of memories. Rests upon a hill on a mountain, the tallest mountain in the area. On the back side of it, there is a cave. Within that cave is a memory library of all your past lives. You may access all of them, and it may look different for each person, but the object and intention are still the same. And navigating these landscapes may be confusing at first, which is why using your spirit guide to guide you to the correct areas in which you are ready to learn from is essential. There are many things in this location that you are not ready for, and although you are not ready for them, they will still appear to you as a challenge. It is up to you to ask your spirit guide to lead you to exactly what you need to learn at this time, and what is made for you at this time. Someone who is just beginning may not be able to handle something like a dark, decrepit being entering their psyche. And this may be from your own mind, and it may be something that needs to be cleansed within you, some form of trauma that is not yet healed. You may not be ready for that. It is up to you to decide if you are truly ready. Your guides will give the best advice they can. But if you do not have the energy to accomplish a task, it is best to go back to your sacred space and gather energy again before starting. Although a fair warning, the lower down in your body you travel. And what I mean by that is if you are in a location, you can feel where you are in your body. For instance, the forest I mentioned is in between the solar plexus and sacral chakra in your stomach, towards the right side of your body. But as you travel lower, things become more challenging, things become more difficult. As you near your root chakra, which is the basis of fear and strength, it begins to challenge you more. And it gets lower to the earth and lower in vibration, and further away from the source of energy that gives you universal power. It becomes more challenging, it becomes more dark. You find things that are not as light, but there are more significant challenges down there. To handle a lot of these challenges, you are going to have to use survival techniques that I can teach you in advanced training. But for now, knowing these locations and knowing when to go to them is essential. Having these locations in mind, as well as many others that I'm going to reference in further training, is essential to your own growth and, more importantly, your ascension and happiness. Because as you become more enlightened, the universe begins to reward you and put you back on track, and you begin to experience wealth, health, beauty, and material success as well as spiritual success. Those who follow the path of the universe are rewarded. Thank you guys. That was a good intro to locations in your mind, and as I mentioned, I'll talk about more in the further lessons, and more importantly, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm going to introduce some more training videos for you guys. So, thank you. Love and light.